Hello everyone, Megatronic here, and today we're going to have a little bit of a different video. This isn't a review, his review will be out on the next upload. I'm just going to show you how you can get even more articulation out of BONECRUSHER here, and I'm going to begin now. See, it all has to do with one little tricky pin. Honestly, I don't think they should have added a pin there for his torso, so let's get right into that. Now, if you know how to remove pins, you know how to remove pins, but I'm just going to use a quick little lesson here. This part, you don't push on. You push on from this part. It will help pop it out. You want to push it from that piece right there to help push this out that way, like so. I had the best results by removing his right arm and right leg there. What I did to remove the pin was I used the screwdriver with a smaller piece right here. I got the screwdriver a couple years back from Walmart, and this is small enough to get into the pin itself. I then hid that with my multi-tool until it did pop out. Try and press the figure onto a softer surface like a towel, a mattress, a pillow, etc. I then used my pliers here to rip out the pin. If you don't have pliers, if you have something like snippers or wire cutters, you might be able to get enough grip on the pin without breaking in half to pull it the rest of the way out. Just a suggestion. It doesn't take much. It does take a bit of force though. And this piece right here is very durable, and the pin did get stuck in mine. So it did take just a little bit longer than I wanted to. But yeah. Now, for example, without being able to use his waist joint, you would have to untab the entire bucket, and it just wouldn't look good because the bucket would just be, there. Now, after you remove the pin, you can move this flap down, and this actually does tab into his stomach region there. So now you have access to his waist joint, but not only his waist, his ab crunch. Now it does go down a little bit, but not super far. And in some poses, if you move the legs in a certain way, bit of an ab crunch with the waist swivel slightly moved to help him look a bit more aerodynamic in posing. And that is one of my biggest issues with the figure, is that you couldn't really pose him around in such a way to make it really look good. BONECRUSHER is my favorite Constructicon, and honestly, he deserves so much better. And just with the waist joint being unlocked, the ab crunch, in some poses, it just makes it look so much better. I mean, and you can move this back up too as well to really get some certain poses in and everything else too. Now, my really only main gripe, I guess, about this figure is just I wish his, I just wish his arms weren't so puny. I think that's just like my really main gripe about this figure is you can't really get him into dynamic poses with the little baby arms, and I do wish he had a wrist swivel. But this does unlock a good amount of articulation, and especially for me who does do stop motions every now and then, this will help in some stop motion movies, giving him that ankle or the ab crunch and a waist swivel joint. And this does tab in rather well. I mean, I can hold him by the bucket and it won't come undone. And I can shake him about and it won't come undone, which is really nice. This does tab into vehicle mode and then for combined mode, obviously. So this doesn't really affect much. It's just going to be a parts former, just like my older video on Blitzwing. I'm not the greatest at posing figures, but that does help. Just, obviously, you can't move the waist joint without moving the bucket. Now, you can get a full 360 out of the waist, and even an ab crunch and some other ab crunch angles here as well now too. So yeah, I think it just adds to the figure and helps him look a lot more posable, makes him feel a lot more rounded out as a figure. And now my only complaint really is just how dinky his little arms are. So yeah, hope you guys like this video. Shorter video than normal, so I will have a video out in 2 days about him. This will be in between uploads. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all next one. Bye.